received, which I passed to Private Detective Tony Ulasewicz, was to have Mr. Ulasewicz give $25,000 to Mr. Caddy. I don't know much of Mr. Caddy. I understand he is an attorney here in Washington, D.C., and as I recall it, this was approximately from July 1st through July 6th or 7th. There were a number of calls. I would either talk to Mr. Dean or Fred LaRue, a presidential aide. I would then call Mr. Ulasewicz, who in turn would call Mr. Caddy. He would have some response from Mr. Caddy, and I would call back up to Mr. Dean or Mr. LaRue. Mr. Dash: what was the response from Mr. Caddy? Mr. Kalmbach: well, the sum and gist of it was, Mr. Caddy refused to accept the funds. Mr. Dash: in that manner? Mr. Kalmbach: that is correct. That was the end all. There were several phone calls, but the final wrap-up on it was that he refused the funds. Paul Blake Smith has produced a masterful work that not only focuses on the Nixon-Gleason event and how it likely tied in with similar covert actions of President Dwight Eisenhower in the 50s, but also provides ample evidence of the alien presence on planet Earth, which was told to me during the Watergate era by defendant E. Howard Hunt. Be aware, while you are curled up in your favorite chair listening to this fascinating book, that simultaneously it is being read in the intelligence communities in countries around the world, as it should be. Enjoy. Douglas Caddy, June 17, 2022. Watergate's 50th anniversary. Prologue. Decades ago, visitors from other planets warned us about where we were headed and offered to help. But instead, we, or at least some of us, interpreted their visits as a threat and decided to shoot first and ask questions later. The late Paul Hellyer, former Canadian Defense Minister. Richard M. Nixon's confidant and eventual biographer Frank Gannon spent many hours interviewing the wily ex-president in the late 70s and early 80s. Gannon recalled, "At one point during our labors in San Clemente, I asked RN if he believed in UFOs and if there was anything to the whole Roswell Area 51 business. He raised his eyebrows and rolled his eyes, and I moved right on to the next subject." To hardened critics, this reaction means that Nixon knew nothing of the subject and was skeptically dismissive of it. To anyone else, this silent treatment can be interpreted as the presidential retiree suspiciously clamming up when asked directly about a topic he should have been quite informed about. He commented freely on everything else, most verbally, but not this. For decades, I have been quite intrigued, like just about everyone else, with the riveting allegation of a covert late-night meeting between Richard Nixon, comic actor Jackie Gleason, and extraterrestrial beings, albeit dead ones. The legend of that meeting on Monday, February 19, 1973, has been aired over the past decades in mere book paragraphs and brief web pages, with almost no legitimate research offered to support them. I wanted real digging, with real answers unearthed. Did the two megastars really travel to a Florida airbase one night to view genuine ETs and keep it hushed up afterward? Did they see more than that? What are the facts and what are the falsehoods? Much like two other UFO tales I took a shine to, I found no full-length nonfiction book about this topic. So I decided to write my own. Thanks to encouragement from my always helpful agent, I pressed forward in fleshing it all out during the economic shutdown and pandemic mess of 2020 to 2021. A few years before, I looked into the Nixon-Gleason allegation and wrote a few paragraphs about it for a chapter in my 2020